So, it's come to my attention that all of you are in the Filipino Student Association here on campus, Kaibigan. But it looks like none of you are Filipino. I think you're Chinese, right? Anyway, so, Jesse, is any part of you Filipino at all?
No.
Okay, well, John, why are you in all these different cultural dances for the Filipino Club? Why don't you celebrate your own culture? And you, Michael, what's the deal with you? You're the president of Kaibigan. I don't even know what you are. You're not Filipino. How can you represent this club? Anyway, I have to go harass some other people now. See ya.
Wow, that was really uncomfortable.
Well, this isn't a crime. Is that what she brought us here for? Filipinos Anonymous? I'm sick and tired of it, guys. Oh, you're not Filipino. Why are you in Kaibigan? That's not your culture. Why are you in that club? But the face of Kaibigan, the face of Northwestern's Filipino students. Now, I know I'm not Filipino, but I'm still Kuya Michael back in Jersey, and you can't change that. Now listen, it's my understanding that culture is something that you learn, not something you're born with. And just because you were born looking similar to someone else of a certain culture, doesn't mean that you can't partake in another culture. Now, I've always viewed myself as being somewhat of a cultural clean slate. I was adopted at around the age of 2, raised by a Puerto Rican immigrant worker and an Irish-American hairdresser. I went to Jewish and Catholic school. I'm what you would say is a cultural enigma. But throughout my life, I always thought that learning culture was something important, something very meaningful. And I would go out and look to learn about other cultures, to learn and to absorb and appreciate other people's cultures. So when high school came around, a lot of my friends were Filipino. Now, when Cotto vs. Pacquiao came along, you know I was quiet after we lost. Puerto Rico, it's okay, he'll come back one day, maybe, probably not. But it was something that we could bond over, something that was real, a connection between two cultures, something that simple. I've always viewed my life as sort of a cultural journey, trying to learn more and more. And I view Kaibigan as being another stop in that cultural journey, another part where I can really learn firsthand, immerse myself in a new community of people who don't really know where I come from. I come all the way, 14-hour drive away from Chicago. I'm not used to this cold, crazy weather. Jersey's a little bit more stable, thank God. But I came here and really immersed myself in a new community. And I felt like a part of it. I didn't have to question, maybe they won't accept me. Maybe I'm not a part of them. Maybe I'm not like them. But at the end of the day, we're still people. Whether it's, Oye, ¿cómo estás? Or, Oye, ¿cómo está ka? The same message is going across. So at the end of the day, you can bridge cultural gaps by simply teaching people about your culture and inviting them to take part in it. I can say I've been walking across that cultural bridge my entire life, and I will never look back. Now, I think I'm just going to slide right through my presidency, line dance all the way until next quarter and enjoy myself. So all the haters can keep on hating, and don't let the tinkling sticks clip your heels on the way out.
You know what, Michael? You're right. This gets me thinking. I've always questioned my right to be in Kaibigan. I remember over a year ago, standing on the stage at the Battle of the Bamboo Awards ceremony. We were all facing towards each other, oblivious to the cheers of the 1,000+ strong in the crowd, and also to the other schools that were on the stage, many times our size, that we knew that were going home with the trophies. This sounds like a great moment of solidarity and unity as Kaibigan, but I felt kind of out of place. Why was I celebrating a culture that wasn't my own? Why did I devote multiple hours each day to rehearsal? Why in all those rehearsals did I put such intensity into practicing when on the face of it, I was just hitting a bamboo stick into the ground? And the question of my right to be in Kaibigan never was more apparent than in my term as treasurer. When I joined the exec, I believed that I always saw apprehension behind the faces of those I worked with. I bet they were asking, why is this guy on exec? He's not Filipino. And back then, I felt that they had a right to question that. Growing up, I had a few Filipino friends, but I really didn't know much about their culture. When in our meetings, people started rattling off their favorite Filipino food or dessert, I felt like I was from another planet. And I came back to that question, why was I on exec? And that question never really left my mind for the year I was treasurer. But through all the meetings, dance practices, and TGIF gatherings, I saw that the other non-Filipinos in Kaibigan weren't being treated any differently. And I figured, I guess that's how I was being treated. I don't think my ethnicity was ever a basis for treating me any differently. And look at the exec board now. Michael over here is co-president, Elizabeth is cultural chair, and neither of them are Filipino. So I've come to realize that Kaibigan is my most memorable college experience, and I can confidently say now that I'm proud to celebrate a culture that I've taken up as my own. So, John, what do you think of all of this?
Well, this brings me back to freshman year. Bleary-eyed, riding that freshman high, I came in. With huge expectations built upon layers of anticipation, I discovered a new culture. Of an unfamiliar country I only knew by the delicious, dried mangoes. And just like how it takes two to tango, you gave me full steps complete and took me in with the crowd. So I wanted to make you proud. With feet following beat under heat of emotions, of aching arms and backs, reliving the motions, because honor and tradition, they go hand in hand. And the homage to people from the dusty sands and the dance of birds that no words can ever explain. Though I wanted to belong, there sprung a seed of doubt. Was there really something wrong with celebrating a culture that wasn't my own? Because my skin betrayed my ethnicity, and my surname Lee questioned my authenticity as a proud Filipino American? It should go without saying, but me saying kamusta and mahal kita should not be a criteria on whether I be a true member, and just because I love lumpia the way I love spring rolls, don't make me any less proud of being a Chinese American. So F labels, don't you dare disregard what I've come to admire as the multiplicity of a diverse community, because ingrained in my identity is the incense in which these memories burn. Of dynasties and ceremonies and rituals and emperors and princes, of history united by love of family. Just two halves of a whole, fitted pieces wrapped in a bow, I present to you myself. Two cultures, one out here, one in here. Woo! Signed sincerely, me.
But what does she know anyway?
Yeah, does she even know what Kaibigan is?
Well, to me, Kaibigan means making hollow hollow.
To me, Kaibigan means staying overnight at the Rock.
Kaibigan is pogi selfies.
Line dancing.
Sharing our mutual love for mangoes.
Kaibigan definitely is hanging out with friends.
Well, do you know that Kaibigan means friend?
Kaibigan means spending time with people I enjoy being with.
Kaibigan means celebrating culture.
Kaibigan means finding a community I finally belong in.
Kaibigan has been my most memorable college experience.
Kaibigan's my freshman year.
You do not need to be Filipino to do any of these things.
You don't need to be Filipino for any of these things to have meaning.
And just because we're not Filipino by blood, we are Kaibigan.
I am Kaibigan.
I am Kaibigan.
I am Kaibigan.
We are Kaibigan.